So market is back near all-time highs again, and a lot of these recovery stocks, such as the airlines, cruise lines, and the theaters, such as AMC Entertainment, is ripping to new highs today. Had very nice gap up, and we saw some very decent continuation. So let's take a look at some of the trades I did today on the long side and the short side. So the first one, AAL, American Airlines. This one gapped up over the weekend from a close of Friday's about $23. You can see we gapped up to 24s. We held the gap, had a tiny morning sell-off, pretty much to 24.20s. I was actually waiting for the dip around 24s. And I got in small size starter, but I was thinking that we're going to retrace back to 24s on some profit taking and going for the long. And the stock actually was really strong. And you can see the stock, the weakness got bought back up really quickly. Within the first 2 minutes, it dipped to 24.20s and really quickly reclaimed VWAP and then ripped through highs. And you can see on the daily chart, this is a very bullish chart. Essentially, we're recovering back to the daily gap that we had since the March of last year. Essentially, 1 year after the sell-off, after the first the pandemic started, essentially. And if you look across board, all the other stocks, such as in the same sector, travel sector, United Airlines, very similar daily chart, similar chart today, also very strong, has some small pullbacks. This was also another stock that we were watching with American Airlines. DAL, Delta, very similar look on the daily as well. But my focus was on AAL. So I was long biased. You can see I bought the dip around 24.30s. I was waiting for 24s to add even bigger, but we didn't get that. Once this thing ripped through the high of the pre-market, 24.70s, I knew this thing was gonna keep on going. We had upside to the daily to high 25s and $26. That's why I added even higher around 24.80s. I sold something to the push on this parabolic move, but I did add back to my full size around 25s, sold some small and then re-added up here and sold towards the 25.90s. I was thinking that we're going to get 26 today, but there was a lot of sellers around the 25.90s, and so that's why that kind of spooked me a little bit, so I was out majority of position. And then stopped out the final. Here, I did go back and read long. You can see around the VWAP areas, 25.20s, added some more 25.40s. So, and you can see after the stop out here, and the majority of the sales was here, I did go back and try to reload up to see if we get a secondary move back to the 26s. So I reloaded back up around 25.30s and 25.40s and 50s. And but once after seeing that a higher low formed, and I think at the time SPY was kind of pulling the market down, and there was just a lot of selling around the 25.50s area. You can see by the wick up here and over here, and that's why I stopped out of the long position. So and then we kind of just faded higher, lower highs and double top around here, and kind of fading lower right now with the market. But that was a very good long, taking advantage of the momentum, pretty much long from low 24s, added higher on the way up, and sold most of it into the strength on the daily breakout. The first target was the 25.20s or 25.30s, but my final target was the 26s levels, and we almost got that. We missed it by like 10 cents. So American Airlines was the first trade I took today on the long side, and actually I didn't trade last Friday. I took the day off, so if I miss a trading day coming into the next week, I actually kind of want to ease into the day and take it easy, because a lot of times I find myself experiencing FOMO after a day or two off from the market. So this was a nice way to start the week. Next one is AMC. This one I took a loss on the short side first. It was stronger than I expected, and I actually flipped long and made it back and more. So AMC, I would admit this thing was stronger than I had expected. I was short biased, thinking that this overnight gap up needs some pullback. but it actually did the exact same move as AAL. You can see small profit taking and ripped through highs. So I lost about 10 cents on the short. I scaled in shorts around the 1250s. I stopped out once that 1260s high of the day broke out. I covered for a loss. I did go back in for some small scalps on the long side at first, and I did scale in short once the 1320s start rejecting, and I got a really nice flush move down towards the 1260s on the short side, another scalp, and I took a lot of trades with AMC because this sim, it's pretty cheap and has good range, and it's not a low floater, so either way on the long side and the short side, the risk reward is decent and it tend to trend, and that's why I like trading the stock. Even though I did take the loss on the short side, I didn't hesitate to flip long, and then even though I go short again, I flip long after the sub VWAP flush around the 1260s, long did 1260s and sold into the 13s. So I did probably 3 trades on this. They're both very, very decent scalps. And again, the name is pretty cheap. I tried to again bust up though here. Didn't want to get involved on further squeeze move. Because technically speaking, once the 12s and the 13s broke out on AMC, this thing has upside to 14s and potentially $15. Again, with a stock like AMC, this definitely plays on both sides, long and short, as long as you see the proper setup. And that's why I didn't hesitate to go short, flip long, and then short, and then long again, essentially. But very nice trade on AMC, and that was kind of like the scalp trades as I'm staying in my AAL long side. Now, the final trade on the day was a loss on XPEV. If you look at the daily charts on this, when the market kind of turned and sold off for the last 2 weeks or so, the electric vehicle names, especially the Chinese ones, they're the ones that got sold off the most. Because these are kind of like the ones that's the most fundamentally overvalued if we look at it fundamentally speaking. So if you look at NIO, same idea, right? Got sold off aggressively down from 60s down to 30s even. And XPEV was also one that's very beaten down. Today I was thinking that okay, if the market's gonna start recovering, if SPY is gonna trade back near all-time highs, we can see some decent reversal and really continuation from the daily. You can see once at $30 reclaimed, this thing has some decent upside to 38s and 40s. So I was thinking we might get that if it starts trending. So that's why I was interested in XPEV, thinking that it could start trending to the upside if the market picks a direction. But today actually SPY had a bit of a sell-off. So this thing, whenever there's any emotional volatility to the downside, again, it's one of the stocks, one of the sectors that gets sold off the most. So I got stopped out really quickly, actually. I was looking for 36s to start holding, and we see a continuation to the upside and breakout above the pre-market highs. But we didn't get that today. So I was actually really quick to get out and stopped out for about 20-cent loss on starter size on the long side. So it's definitely nice to see some momentum back in the market, both on the long side and the short side. And hopefully, by the look of these recovery stocks, such as AMC, the travel sectors, airlines, hopefully we see some more direction to the upside later on this week. So just an update on Kathy. You can see she's doing pretty well so far. She's blooming, she's very green, and still growing a lot higher as well. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Hey guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and the bad jokes. If you want to see more day trading content, make sure to subscribe and follow me on Twitter and Instagram for more. If you'd like to trade with me daily and get my free weekend watch list and trading journal, make sure to check out the links below for more resources. Stay green, stay positive, and I'll see you guys next time.